Dr. Cheikh Diop. Dr. Diop, a nuclear physicist, is director of the radiocarbon laboratory at the University of Dakar in Senegal. In this segment, Dr. Diop discusses a scheme designed to, well, let's take a look.
There is no longer any question as to whether there is a superiority among the races. It is, however, possible that one race or another can dominate temporarily another race or other races. In antiquity, it was blacks who dominated.
You have spent much of your life studying the history of Egypt. Who were the ancient Egyptians? How did they look?
This is a very important reproduction. It's found in the tomb of Ramses III of the 20th dynasty. That person on the left, this is the general type represented by the Egyptian artist himself. The second person or personage is the general type of all the Europeans.
Yes.
Is represented by the artist. And the third personage is the general type representing all the other groups found in the interior of the continent.
Of the Africa.
Of the continent of Africa. The fourth personage is the general type of all of the Semites living in that area of Asia. This is the different races represented by the artist, and these are the races that existed in his time. We are 1,200 years before Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The Egyptians were never confused with the Europeans, nor with the Semites, and they never became different on an ethnic plane from the other Africans. So this is fairly significant from this point of view. This was discovered by a German scientist who is called Lepsus, and before this you have not seen this reproduced in any other form or work. And so you can see how history departed little by little from the reality. All of the writers of ancient Greek and ancient Rome agreed that the Egyptians of their epoch, of their time, were in fact black. These were the Egyptians of the end of the great Egyptian civilization. A period of some 900 years, beginning at the 4th century before Jesus Christ and going through the 5th century after, the Greeks were constantly witnessing to the fact that the Egyptians were black. So they would be considered black from their origins, from their beginnings, all the way to the end of their civilization, as is indicated by the first king, the slide which we saw. I will show you quickly the others. This is the 3rd dynasty of Egyptian civilization here, 2,800 BC. With this king, in the 3rd dynasty, all of the things that we admire the Egyptians for were already in place. The great Egyptian architecture was evolved under his reign, 2,300 years before the birth of architecture in Greece.